We are here for episode 90 here in the challenge series. Fucking throat. Apparently the episode of White and Blue Stripes, based off of the little thumbnail thing here. No, that wasn't intentional. Certainly was intentional by me by way of randomized starting grid, but even breaking the fourth wall, no, that wasn't something I was going for. But this is certainly an episode, to say the least. Let's get this going. And we are green for the first race of the week. The game's audio mixing is a little weird for me, on my end, because I have... I say it's a new pair of earbuds, actually it's an old pair. It's kind of the spare pair I had sitting around, because the previous pair decided to commit no longer existed. Commit stopped functioning. As Reiko Mishima, our POV driver, just sends it 3 wide with 2 other Nissans, including her lover's former car. A little bit of grass on the tires. The Lago Maggiore West End circuit. This is the first time I've used this for anything, and that is where our journey through week 90 gets underway. And I think there might have been some foul play involved here. No, actually, I don't think he ever... Oh no, there it is. Well, that wasn't even what did damage to her car, though, ironically. I think Reiko attempted to do a bit of damage to Rise's car with that little rear end tap. Try to calculate it to where it would damage hers and not Reiko's own car. But Rise had already gotten damage from something else, so that was just kind of pointless. Wouldn't have surprised me if Reiko decided to be a dick, because, no. I mean, you saw what happened at week 87 between, well, Rise and her boyfriend, Kazuma. So, but with relative ease, Mishima moves into the race lead. Clearly still on form after taking the victory at the end of the previous episode in her new F40. And keeps the momentum going here into week 90 with what is, well, up to this point, a pretty solid run. Pack racing basically out behind the top 3 cars. I was leading this huge train of basically everybody that isn't the top 3 or Rise. Alexis Aliris moves to 4th place ahead of me, though, in her Roadster touring car. This seems like a touring car track if I ever saw one, so... And her vehicle being one of very few on the grid with downforce in the 600 class, that's going to assist her. I think I just heard Dexter Rollins brake traction back here. Yeah, the little pack racing continues elsewhere on the grid as Rollins almost slides up into JJ West. Kinda does. Forces him off one, he almost ends up in the sand. My throat's not cooperating, as ever. Oh, I say it was everybody except the top 3 in Rise. It's actually everybody except the top 3, Rise and Melissa Weiss, who really has not been herself ever since her old race team Atomic Blonde folded. And this week is no exception, as she is running in dead last, several seconds behind, even 19th place. And Melissa, I think you might want to look into that setup of yours. That's not getting you anywhere. Is that Stratos capable of making a turn without spinning? Like, how bad is the setup on that car? Alexis is making rapid progress. She's now into the top 3. Only Ukai in the S14, and then Reiko herself left to pass for the Mazda. Tried to fit the car into the gap as Reiko's a little bit wide up there, but not going to lose too much time, I don't think. Especially not while Ukai has to do a bit of mirror driving because Alexis is there. Normally the S14s kind of fall back in this category, but Ukai is able to relatively well hang on to where he is, and I was also able to kind of hang out in 5th for most of the race after Aliris got ahead of me. Just over a lap to go now, and Reiko is still comfortably in the lead. Alexis might change that soon, though. She's just taken 2nd away. I think we're about to see her probably push the car into turn 1. Actually, not really. I feel like she could have broken a lot later than that if she wanted to. Still made up some time. Not enough, though. This isn't exactly a long lap. This 6-lap race is going to run us just over 6 minutes, which is definitely on the short end for a Challenge Series event. We usually aim for the 8-minute range. 8 to 10 is like the not the comfort zone, like the golden standard, but at least between 6 and 11 minutes. And then, like, sometimes roulette races will be up to 12, but race length doesn't matter, because Reiko has just reached the end of this one in 1st place. Alexis 2nd, after a very competitive drive from her, and Ukai manages to basically play position management and hang on to 3rd. And here come the train. My word. Who was the leader of that train? It looks like it must have been Scott Webber. Actually, no, I think those two were separate. I think Brandt was the one leading that train, keeping over half a dozen cars in his rear view for as long as he had to get 8th place out of that. So, kind of just business as usual. Suspected foul play in the beginning, and the patch notes. The commentary notes did the same, but there was none. Just, Rise had the damage before Reiko ever caught her, so I think it would have been a misunderstanding on Victory's part. She's the one that left the notes. Even though I was also there. I wasn't able to see it, but I would probably have heard about it if there was another fight that broke out, if Reiko had run into Rise. I just dropped my TV remote. On to race 2 then. Race 2 is underway, and it is Colorado Springs. I'm honestly surprised everybody was so eager to do another dirt race. We do have a bit of a less field here. 16 competitors, but I didn't think there'd be any immediate demand for it, considering we just had a championship full of it. One new driver does join the grid in this race. Technically, she had joined going into episode 89, but because 89 didn't have a dirt race in it, she did not have a chance to appear. That is not Francesca. That is one of her other relatives, Fiona Fidanzi, in the red velvet cake looking Lancia Delta, as a bug just flew into my face. Like, literally ran into me. But we are on board with Damien Kotetsa in another white and blue vehicle with stripes. Man, what was it? Was that just a curse today, I guess? The three cars in the thumbnail were all white or silver or gray with blue stripes. And now this wildly out of control Shelby Raptor is blue with white stripes and accenting. And it's already in the top 5 after just a single lap of racing. Kotexa was sort of the ugly duckling when it came to the truck driving competitors in the Special Conditions Cup. I believe he only managed roughly 10th or 11th in points. Mirto continues to have a problem with me. It was fine all day, but the second I tried to start talking, it's just like, no, asthma, get wrecked, nerd. Cortex is having to just kind of patiently wait behind Alzamon and Noir to, well, two drivers not from France, yet bearing the French flag, were battling ahead of him. As soon as Alzamon passed Noir, the F-150 Raptor did the same thing. With the change to the systems and the addition of the specified dirt class, Kotexa is now the only JSR representative to participate in it, as Alzamon has missed that infamous jump there. That's more like a big bump, but he got a lot of it. I found a tire barrier. And now Kotexa is all over the rear lights of our leader Yo Watanabe, who's clearly now lost a step after the Special Conditions Cup was over. Kotexa just gave her a bit of a shove, but it mattered on exit. And with a little bit of, shall we say, a bit of NASCAR driving in hand, Damien Kotexa is the new leader, as this drone shot is having quite a bit of fun. That was a view. I hope we don't get motion sickness, folks. Watanabe is trying to keep the big white truck behind. Behind this, we get a bit of a Subaru battle for 4th place. Noir is trying to keep Harada at bay. Fiona, meanwhile, is in 7th, trying to keep another one of the Subarus at bay. Now, Rio's not really looking like herself right now. Back here in dead last. Probably had to spin early on. I would only have to guess. She didn't start back here. Oh, that was almost another one while we were talking about it. Probably through there the first time if I had to guess. But although she almost lost control, the two cars ahead of her did. And she picks up the scraps. Watanabe still keeping that Tundra at bay. And honestly, that's exactly what Damien likes at the moment. Because I think Alzamon is actually probably the faster vehicle of the two trucks. It's just that Kotexa is a little more opportunistic, and by that literally bumped Yo out of the way. Finally, Alzamon sees and takes the opportunity and takes 2nd place. But now with only a lap and a half to go, he's going to have to go chase down that F-150. And, well, he's already kind of done that, actually. Not that far away. I literally passed Yo like about 20 seconds ago. Oh, and Kotexa's all out of shape over those bumps. He's revving that engine out for all it's worth, this Damien. He paid for that whole tachometer, and he's going to use it all. The top 5 are all pretty evenly spaced out, and then Colin Morris is leading the train of everybody else, just about. I mean, not literally everybody else. Actually, it's only 5 cars. And then Hanamura is on his own, as Logan Cool leads the train of 3 in turn 1. Weiss is on her own, and Tyler is really having a bad day. The Duke boys, as it were, they're in a heap of trouble on this one. I would point out, in spite of home field advantage, but there are literally like 7 American drivers on the grid right now. Damien, Colin, Dakota, Tyler himself, Logan, my dad. Okay, excuse me, there's 6. It's still like more than a third of the field. No, a huge power slide. I don't think that was intentional from the Shelby Raptor driver. Swing that tailgate all the way out, Kuteksa, as he comes out of the final turn, grabbing the victory at Colorado Springs. A truck won 2, with Elzenman second, and Watanabe third, in the leading not pickup. Harada ends up being the dominant Subaru of the day. And Kingsley made a last-second push for 6th. He was in 8th at the start of lap 5, and now the game may not unload. So, while GT7 decides to be a game made in 2023, I will see you in race. And round 3 is green. I hope nobody's getting tired of seeing Fuji. So we're here again with more 675 class racing. I mean, you're gonna have to just get adjusted to it, because they're kind of like a pretty big ambassador of the thing. Fuji doesn't get a whole lot of different series showing up, so something as varied as the Challenge Series kind of gets their attention a little bit, because mostly all they've got now is like series affiliated with either Super GT or Super Formula. As I am the POV driver. Our starting grid has no favoritism, even for people who, this is like NFR's like kind of base of operations. Doesn't matter, still start last year. 3 wide with Yo and Natsuki. Didn't actually know Natsuki was down there. I probably wouldn't have done that. GTO is not excellent in all these hairpins. To maintain traction, you have to basically have thrown out of most of these turns. Once I get out of 3rd gear, though, I can do that. As lap 1 accordion effects, given a myriad of cars damage, including our previous round's winner, Yo. Axel among them as well. McIntosh is making good on his escape plan at the moment. He's already got about maybe a 2-second lead here, I would say, over Neptune. Neptune currently leading, well, now 6-car train, as I have just entered the train. Her friends? Question mark? I don't honestly understand the relationship with most of those Neptunia characters. I think they're friends, but they're kind of like those. I almost get turned by Schwartz there. They're kind of like, the. What's the word? Vitriolic best friends, where Yeah, we might be buddies, but I am also gonna shit talk you into a submission. So, me and most people. Honestly, just most people in general nowadays. Just embarrass both my teammate Isabel and Blonde down the front stretch. We'll do the same with Neptune as well. Carl wasn't happy with me then. Started defense for McIntosh, and I have to avoid wrecking the both of us. Also, again with the blue and white stripes. Also, this was a save I had to make. Yeah, the GTO got even angrier here. 688 horsepower, it's gonna kind of be a little ornery. And I also get a nudge from Tyler as well. Didn't help me. And then... yeah. That didn't really look great from this camera angle. It didn't look good from any camera angle, but that one was too far away. It's still gonna show me the same camera. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, so that was what some people will call a blind spot violation. If you kind of analyze the moment-to-moment driving here, from Tyler's perspective, he thinks he's cleared me on exit here, and so he kind of slides up, but he doesn't look to his left. See the giant 71 there? And well, he can't really adjust his course. By the time he does probably notice I'm there. And there's grass out there. Grass is not good for cars' traction. By the time I finally catch traction, he's coming off the apex at that little kink back there that Neptune's currently at, and everybody else. Well, actually, Blonde and Isabel are more at it right now. And yeah, I'm L fucked. UIMDONE fucked. I'd had damage from the impact, so it's not like the telemetry couldn't really pick it up because, well, the telemetry's kind of busted now because, you know, I hit the wall at 90 miles an hour. But yeah. That might be the last the last of the drivers will see of me for a while. If you've noticed, I've sounded kinda downcast this week. It is simply because, well, that incident kinda maybe sorta crippled my arm. It's kinda hard to drive when your left arm can't move, you know? And it's around this point when the red flag is called, so everybody just runs it back up to the start finish. Because everybody's driven past my demolished GTO at this point anyway. And Tyler is going to take the victory here at Fuji. Neptune's second and Blonde will be in third. Isabel will end up in fourth. Yeah. I don't hold that against Tyler, because he was just kind of taking the line he thought was safe. To be fair, I don't think I would have expected me to get such a run out of that hairpin, especially after I had just been bump and runned. Which, I mean, I didn't really appreciate being bump and run by my friend either, but that was just kind of part of it. And he probably figured that was enough to put me behind him, and he just slid out wide, because that's kind of how you take those corners. You get set up for... You clip those little micro apexes to get set up for the hairpin down there. I wasn't showing up in his mirrors, and he didn't really want to... I guess he didn't look all the way out his door. You know, the more that I think about it, the more I kind of wonder if it really wasn't just being clumsy, because I don't really know if that was a blind spot, but Round 4 takes us to Red Bull Ring. I'm gonna try and stat myself out of this shit. It's a little difficult to do that, but I can only trust at this point that the Challenge Series has brought itself to a certain level of self-sustainability, that it might be gone for long enough to deal with this crippled arm of mine. Is the 715 class here at Red Bull Ring. Obviously, we were able to organize a race perfectly fine. We got a full grid. It's not like it... I mean, Dittery was handling that perfectly fine anyway. So, it doesn't really surprise me that the race started off fine. 3 wide, 2 Porsches are in it, with Tyler himself making up multiple places there, I think. He got 2 of them. He got defended from Stephanie, and got Liza and Erica in the same turn. So, well, is clearly whatever guilt he might have is not slowing him down. If nothing else. Matt in my recording room. The train feeds through the exit of Sector 2 there. Lots of Germans on the leaderboard right now. Guess it makes sense. Red Bull Ring is not far from Germany. And a lot of cars probably all got damaged from the typical lap 1 accordion effect. Oh, good lord, half the field. Jesus Christ. Maybe not. Maybe we're not self-sustaining. No, that always happens. Red Bull Ring, Tokyo East, Trail Mountain, there's always just going to be those few tracks where the first set of corners will always be tricky. Heck, that ranges true even for like professional racing, like Formula 1 sometimes struggles to have clean race starts here. Tyler had a good start, but he's been kind of knocked out of commission here. Call it his penance, we'll say. But his boy De La Cruz is comfortably leading the way at the moment. I do not believe it was mentioned in the previous week, but I think it was a known thing that the Urban Estate Racing team, the team that Tyler is running, with Keith Kilgore, Derek De La Cruz, and then Travis Wild and Gemini, they are aligned with the Nitro Knights of John Casillas and Barbara Page. But the Nitro Knights just got factory support from GM themselves. And apparently part of the agreement, somehow, was that the Chevrolet models under Urban Estate would also get the same back, despite Urban Estate having a Toyota Supra and a Porsche 930 911 in their stable with, Gemini and Travis, respectively. But like Tyler's C8 Corvette, De La Cruz's C6 Corvette, and Kilgore's Z01 Camaro, they're all getting those benefits from the GM support, and it seems to be working thus far, as De La Cruz is still leading. As we are about now halfway through lap 3. And fellow Corvette Barbara is quickly picking her way through the field. She'll be joining him very shortly here, when she gets around her admin, who's moving under the braking. Not supposed to do that, Nitori. All the same to Barbara, though, she might get ahead. Oh, she'll get both of them into turn 6. It's turn 5. I'm done. Because somehow that little tiny kink going up towards the top of the hill is considered a corner, but the long sweeping part out of 4 isn't. Whoever numbered the corners at Red Bull Ring needs to be taken into a dark room and beaten. That's all I have to say. Nitori getting a little forceful with De La Cruz heading through the back section. Jeez! Pushing De La Cruz around like she does Mean Thrasher, for Christ's sake. And we got more cars damaged. Ryan Wolf must have given Passaro the rear or the chrome horn, and that'll demote the pair of them, leaving just 8 cars unscathed. And the race isn't done yet either. De La Cruz and Kawashiro continue to battle. De La Cruz is going to give it right back to her. There you go, lad. She's an admin, but it doesn't mean you have to just take her shit. That's my job. Who knows, maybe being out of action with a crippled arm for so long might be a service. Get away from her for a while. Now I have to speak with the other 2 admins about that. I can't really do paperwork if my left hand doesn't work, you know? Neri will probably tell me I'm right-handed. That's just how she is. She's very anti-work. She's the harsh employer that's... I don't honestly know where I was going with that. What do I know about work conditions? I don't have a job, never have. And Nitori getting pushed off there has allowed both Sophia Meyer and... Really, guys? We did that? Oh, that's terrible, people. Who was in charge of the scoreboard here? This is not Francesca Fidanzi. Or is it Fiona Fidanzi? It's neither. It's Nico Mizotto. I don't really know how people got this confused at Red Bull Ring. Wait, what? Have they not seen this guy before? I guess it's not the first time. Won't be the last time either that they've managed to screw up over there at the scoreboard crew. Do not be fooled, this is not Francesco in a loaner car, this is in fact Nico Mizotto in that F430. I don't know how it took me that long to notice that either. Wouldn't that have been some shit if Francesca herself was also in the race, but she was not. She's not here. We're on the final lap. We continue the race now that I'm done. Now that I'm done taking my pot shots at the scoreboard management crew. Like, Nitori hands them a sign-up sheet for the race. What's the holy shit towards lap time? Shame it doesn't matter from P11, but you know, points for effort. Lapping 2 seconds a lap faster than Barbara is at the moment. She and De La Cruz ran the exact same lap time on the last lap. What the fuck? How is it even possible? I mean, it's obviously, I know how it's possible, like, Jesus. Doesn't seem like it should be. But, you know, Barbara doesn't have to push the car. She's got the lead. De La Cruz is about 1.5 seconds behind. She's only got to make 3 more turns. It's not like she really isn't any immediate threat from anyone here. Barbara Page is going to bring us back to normality as she heads across the start-finish line to win at Red Bull Ring. De La Cruz second, and Sophia Meyer third. Continuing the sort of close comparison between De La Cruz and the JSR team. Harkens back to Watkins Glen a few weeks ago where these two were part of the battle for the win there. But Barbara has clearly outmatched the pair of them today. Only 8 cars got through this race with no damage. I find it hilarious that Logan was one of them. If you know, you know. But probably because he's got armor plating, you'd probably need a shotgun to do aero damage to that car. Or like one of those industrial car crushers they have in junkyards or something. Anyway, now we head to the roulette round. We are finally green for the final round of the episode. The roulette race takes us to Road Atlanta. And I say finally because of the amount of delay IRL between the end of the previous recording and the start of this. We'll get into that as the race goes on, but at the moment we are on board with the 750 class car of John Garrison in his C6 Corvette. I was trying to just scroll down the running order and I just probably hit down like 8 times to move 4 places. It was ridiculous. Reiko's trying to further improve on her momentum after having already won a race this week and winning the roulette. God damn it, Reiko! Roulette race last week. She would like to repeat that success, but she may find this one a little more difficult, I would say. There's a lot more cars in the 750 class today than there were last week. I think there's 5 of them in this race, compared to, I believe, just 2 in the last week. AJ's stuck behind a couple of 675s. Garrison just got so sideways he flashed his headlights. I don't know how you do that. Up to the back of, well, somehow a 675 class car is still up here. The actual Francesca Peranzi, and not the bullshit that we saw at Red Bull Ring, where the scoreboard crew somehow got 2 Italians mixed up. One of them is literally not even a guy. Like, what? Thomas O'Reilly is holding off 2 cars in the class above him, including his former mentee. I don't know if that's actually the... No, that is a word. I'm pretty sure. Part of me is honestly surprised that Riley Blanchard didn't give Thomas the chrome horn. Kinda gave him a slight nudge, and off she goes. There's a fly in my window again. Yeah, excuse me. Speak of the amount of delays that I had when I was trying to start the recording for this. I go to the bathroom, and then the game froze on me when I was trying to load the replay, and as it did that, I got pinged on Discord with an important conversation for something else, for ARC, basically, ironically. And then I got great camera, yeah! Nice low-resolution sedan there. In the middle of me responding to that Discord ping, my internet went out, and for whatever reason, you know, this game is all, like, you know, always on the internet, so once my internet went out, I lost access to my replay that I had already loaded and was sitting at the results screen of, because that makes perfect goddamn sense, Polyphony. Garrison just made a move for third on Mishima. Wanted to sneak on the inside of O'Reilly, but could not find room on his teammate there. Probably wants to get it done without inconveniencing his teammate too much, since he is still leading his category, but to be fair, I don't really think his category lead is under too much threat right now. The second place car in that class is David Danvers in ninth. With, well, now only two cars in 675 class ahead of him, and they're battling for the class lead at the moment. Garrison will finally clear O'Reilly and set off in pursuit of the next Corvette, the one in the lead. Kilgore was victorious over Francesco Ferranzi, giving him the class lead in 675, and here comes the Viper. These two are still battling. They've been battling for a bit now. Taro with the power, Riho with the cornering grip. Haneo currently leads the 640 class, and she is ahead of multiple vehicles in 675. And there were no cars in this race in the 600 class. That's pretty common though. Usually not all 5 categories are represented. There's usually one class with absentees. Or in some cases it's happened where there's one car that's shown up from a particular category, but that's not enough. There needs to be 2 per category or that class just doesn't race. This was no such case. No 600 class cars even tried to start this. But it's happened before. Like a few weeks ago there was one where only like one, I think it was Brian Ice, wanted to show up in his 750 class Murcielago, but he was the only one in the category that did. And so he was just like, fine, I guess I'll just go home. And so there was no 750 category race, or 750 category car in that race, I should say. I think there was like episode like 86 or something that happened. It was pretty recently where that took place, because I made note of it in the commentary. And if you're wondering, okay, so I'm going to be a no-show for the series itself, it's Garrison Understeers. I'm going to be a no-shell to the series no-shell. Garrison's down the inside, saved by the overtake instead of saved by the bell. And that was about as easy as they get, as far as passes for the race lead are concerned. Now Garrison will have the better part of 2 laps, I would say. Maybe even 3, depends on the timeline here. He might not actually have it much to himself. Riley is still there, barely. And it is going to be, it is in fact going to be 2 more laps from here. Yeah, so for anyone questioning, oh, so I'm, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna be a no-show in the series because of the injury. How am I commentating? Remotely. But I won't be at the racetrack very often. Understeering more is John Garrison. I won't be at the racetrack very often. I won't be testing at all. So NFR is kind of being left in Noir's hands at the moment. As Isabel and Satsuko really didn't seem to be... They seemed to be pretty indifferent to the idea of managing the team. Because originally I did ask her first, which is ironic because Garrison is about to lap Setsuko. As I'm speaking of her. I know why she was indifferent to the idea. At least I know part of why. But, at least I think I do. I feel like it's just kind of a thing of... She was just kind of there to follow my lead. She's a follower, not a leader, I'm guessing. Anywho. Maybe that's not it, that's just my guess. I'm not her. Yeah, so Noir is the replacement owner of the team. Garrison's really having some problems with that understeer in this Corvette. The time has expired. And with that, we can already confirm that Hanyo is going to win the 640 class and keep Walter Copeland at bay. She hit something pretty hard, though, apparently. Oh, jeez! Taro Kitano jump scare. I just actually jumped. What on earth happened to the Mustang? Oh, he just lost it under braking. And... boom! Oh my good lord! I'm surprised that Mustang's still... I'm surprised Taro's still conscious after that. Everything else. Back to present day here. Somewhere around here. There we go. So the time has now expired. We've had our little, our Taro Kitano jump scare. Connor Nazeng is being a little bit of a problem. He's been, well, it's not his fault. He was caught at a place that he can't just jam the brakes and move. It's cost Garrison time, a lot of time in fact, enough time to where Riley has caught back up to him, kind of. But it seems like not enough. And it's just one more corner left to make, and John Garrison has taken the W here at Road Atlanta. Riley second, and Reiko third. That was a save from Thomas O'Reilly. He gasses it up to get clear of Nazeng, and bottoms out over the hill. 360. Only losing a place to AJ, which doesn't ultimately matter, because that's not in his category anyway. He will still win the category. So I say some dumb shit here. Keith Kilgore is not the 675 class winner. It's Francesca Ferranzi. Keith Kilgore is not even in that class. And Hanyo maybe won her category. Yeah, she won her category in spite of taking a Mustang to the face. And she had the biggest category to beat, too. She had to beat 5 other cars. Also beat Walter Copeland. You know, in the 675 class BMW. Don't really know how that happened. I don't know, like, how he flopped that badly. But that will do it for this travesty of an episode. I mean, that's just kind of projecting, let's be honest. It was a fine episode if I didn't cripple my arm in the middle of it. But, yeah. Summarize. Not angry at Tyler. I'm doing remote commentary. Thrasher and Nitro are on their own for administration for the time I will take to recover, which should be in time for Season 3, which is a mere, like, 2.5 months away. In universe, obviously. And Noir has taken over NFR in my absence. She can run a nation, apparently. That's what she tells me. So I can hope she can run a racing team.